Hi there, it's Paul Hardingham giving an update on the Angel Business Club. If you're sat on the sidelines, you're still not decided. The Angel Business Club, I've been a member since it started. Officially, the start was July 2015. My investments are growing in value. We've had some investments that we've returned and actually got money out. Someone challenged me yesterday on Facebook saying, potential returns are not the same. These are not potential returns. We are making money with the Angel Business Club, and that money comes back to our bank account. You can earn money on the affiliate commissions as well. Those are paid instantly. They appear instantly rather, and you can withdraw those weekly to your bank account. And one other thing about the Angel Business Club, which is so unique and so brilliant, it doesn't matter what level you're at. If you're used to network marketing companies, you would have seen them where they said, go all in, make sure you're top level, be really committed. The Angel Business Club is not like that. You can be at the bottom level and still earn top commissions. So in other words, you could join the Angel Business Club, contribute €89 a month to the club, which you get back in the value of shares. So anyone who's been a member for longer than 6 months with the club, even if they're not involved in the affiliate program, they're already in profit. So even if you're at the minimum level, €89, you can still earn €105 commission for someone who comes in as a higher worth individual who takes a higher subscription, makes a bigger contribution to the club. You can earn €105. This is the only network marketing business in the world that I'm aware of where you can be in profit with just one referral. That's the possibilities here, because they don't act illegally. I personally believe a lot of network marketing businesses act illegally. They're probably not aware of it, but where they say, well, you can only earn top commissions if you're a top member, if you're a big auto ship, that sort of thing. That's not the case with the Angel Business Club. They are squeaky clean, whiter than white, FCA regulated, been around for over 3 years now, and we're really going places. 2018 is a very, very exciting year for the club. So whether you're interested from an investment perspective or you're interested from a network marketing perspective, stroke affiliate perspective, then do pay attention, please, to this club. Now, I've got some links on this page. theangelinvestor.co.uk is a website that I've created for my team to help us build and encourage other people to join the Angel Business Club. It's a fantastic place. If you don't currently have investments or savings that have the potential to grow, in other words, don't just leave them in your bank account, don't just spend all of your money every month, which is what most people do. You need to have some savings and investments that can grow. That's what top investors do. That's what top people. You either got to have a business or you've got to have investments working for you. If you don't have either of those, if you're employed or self-employed, you have a job. You exchange time for money. You need to have investments or a business. Other people working for you is what a business is, or you need to have investments working for you. And the Angel Business Club gives us both of those. So do make sure you get involved. Now, let me quickly hurry on. We had an investment update webinar just during the week, and I wanted to give you my own quick version of this. The official company one was pretty much close to an hour. Most webinars every week are close to an hour. Fantastic value. And if you're interested in knowing what's happening in the club and really getting to see the power of it, then I do recommend you get and watch those webinars. Even better if you can get onto the live webinars, 6 p.m. UK time every Wednesday. The club does webinars. You can ask questions. You can really get involved and find out what's going on. Very transparent. You can ask awkward questions. They love awkward questions as well. Some of the investments the club makes don't turn good. That's absolutely fine. That's investing well. Some of them have got the potential to turn very good, and some of those have already shown 2-digit growth in very short time space and so on. But what I want to do is give you a quick update, my version of the webinar, so you don't have to sit through an hour. Again, this is mostly for people who are still investigating the Angel Business Club, still investigating. Say, where can I put my money that's actually going to grow? What business can I join that I can invest my time and effort in that I know is going to give me a solid income for months and years to come? And again, I've said this before in previous videos, but let me just give you a little bit background to myself and then we'll go into this presentation. I've been full-time working from home here in my home office for 17 years now. And I don't do anything except affiliate marketing and investing. And so that's why the Angel Business Club fits so well for me and for a lot of other people as well across the world. The Angel Business Club, remember, is a worldwide investment club. Now, by putting in the time and effort to build that income, I know that this can provide month after month after month for years to come, because 17 years ago I did the same thing with the first company that I ever got involved with, which was network marketing. I put it off for 6 months, finally got involved. I paid £200 to join that business, and I remember my feeling on this desk that I'm sat at now. I wrote the check, posted it in the post, and once I had done that, I felt that obligation, thinking, well, the minimum I'm going to do is at least try and make enough effort to get my money back. Well, I still get paid from that business 17 years later, and there's no sign of that business not paying me for another 17 years and so on. It is a stock market quoted company. I think it's worth almost £1 billion now. And that reminds me of another very, very powerful thing about the Angel Business Club. We're young, but we're established, so it's not going away. And we can actually earn shares in the club itself as well. So this is only, in the 17 years I've been doing affiliate marketing and network marketing, this is only the second time I've ever had the chance to actually own part of the company that I promote. And you can get that opportunity as well with the Angel Business Club. So I've actually got, I think it's about 3,500 shares in the club. So if the club goes on to become a £1 billion company like the other one that I was involved with 17 years ago and still am with, then my shareholdings in the Angel Business Club itself could also be worth a substantial amount, let alone the other investments that I've got through the club and so on. Talking of which, let's get on quickly to the investment update. So this is in the back office. You can watch the videos here. You can watch all of the past videos. I think you need to be an active member, a paid member of the club to be able to access this part of the club. But even as a free member, you do get access to certain parts of the club to be able to see what's going on. But do make a contribution, become active, choose a membership level, become active, and you will get full access to everything. You're fully in control of that, so if you decided after 1 month, no, I don't think this is for me, you can simply cancel your subscription. You're fully in control of that. You can also change your level of membership anytime you want in the back office. Again, they're not forcing anyone to do anything they don't want to do. Now, let's go and have a look. So if we go to the investment update webinar PDF, and again, all of the presentations they give are available for download, as well as the videos. You can download those and see those for yourself. So this was the investment update by Dominic Berger. He's the CEO, co-founder of the Angel Business Club. He's a serial entrepreneur. I actually worked, I didn't realize this, but back in 1999, I was promoting a company called Black Star Associates. They were the UK's biggest online video and DVD rental and sales company. Dominic was the managing director of that company. And so I have that background, without even realizing it, of working effectively with Dominic back 18, 19 years ago now. So Dominic, great guy, knows his stuff, serial entrepreneur, big investor himself as well. And so he's our co-founder and does most of these investment update webinars. So it's all about growth. That's what the main message was from Dominic this week on the investment webinar. Okay, so this was a very interesting slide. This was to show what would happen if you had invested in these companies directly that the Angel Business Club has invested in. Let's say you had purchased 1,000 shares in Ridercam, 1,000 shares in MyTown, 1,000 shares in SmartTrade, 1,000 shares in Natural Drinks Company, and 1 share, which is worth £1,000, in Britannia's Gold. If you had invested in those companies, which was the opportunity given to members of the Angel Business Club during 2017. By the end of 2017, your portfolio value, you'd have invested £5,050. Your portfolio value, the value of those shares, was £9,730. That was a 93% growth within the 12 months with the Angel Business Club. Now, we had the opportunity to get shares with various companies, but it's just showing you those, if you've been in those 5 alone at £1,000 each, 1,000 shares each, which would have been £5,050, you'd have seen your value of your portfolio rise by £4,725. So very, very powerful stuff. And they've highlighted BGL here, which didn't increase in value yet. BGL, by the way, is Britannia's Gold. and that is a gold salvage project which they hope to go back out mid-February, maybe late February, March, to salvage gold from shipwrecks. Lots of data and research on that, very, very exciting, and that potentially can return massive dividends on that £1,000 investment there. Personally, I've got, or as a family, we've got 20 shares. We put £20,000 into that, just to give you a perspective. I'm not saying that to boast, I'm saying that to show how committed I am personally to the Angel Business Club and their fantastic investments. Let me just pause again whilst I take on to the next slide, because it seems to be going slow. I've got a Windows update happening here. Just let me pause whilst I go to the next slide. Okay, so what this investment update webinar was all about was going through the investments that the club actually has. So we've got shares. Every month we make a contribution to the club, and every week we receive shares in the various businesses that the club has invested in. These are very tangible businesses. They're very real businesses, and these are real legal shares that we're entitled to. They're held on an independent registrar which is updated every 24 hours and held by a company called Beaufort Custodians, which are also an FCA regulated company. So everything, again, like I've said before, is whiter than white, very solid, very, very powerful. If you've never invested before, the Angel Business Club is a great place to be, because you don't need to know anything about investing. You're simply joining the club, making a contribution to the club, and they make the investment decisions for you. Now, it's multiple level in terms of intelligence. If you want to be an investor and actually want to take an active stance like I do, then that's available as well. You can invest individually in different companies. You can buy and sell shares from other members within the internal trading. There's auctions where you can pick up some absolute massive bargains of other members who just want to exit for whatever reason. I think they're crazy, but it's brilliant because it gives us opportunity for bargains. So that's what this webinar was about during the week. Update, we get this once a month, from an update on all the different companies we got investments with. So MyTown Technologies, a very small startup company. This is what's called in the Ignite segment. So it's just a couple of employees. It's very much a concept, but they're rolling out and potentially growing very fast. They're due to launch a website first week of February. Developers nearing completion of the website. Mobile app integration well underway. Android version should be due for release very soon. Sales operation underway. That's the north of England, that they're signing up loads and loads of retailers for this app. It's a huge market. It's a massive potential. This one is a high risk because it is such an early stage, but if it becomes a £1 billion company again, in this very, very early investment stage, we could make an absolute fortune on that one. That's a possibility. Now, let me go to the next frame and just pause the video again. Okay, the next company update is Crosshore Humarine. This is a Swedish company, and they, I believe, are the one of the pioneering companies in the world to make an electric-powered rubber inflatable boat, a RIB. Crosshore 28 Electric is going to be on the boat show at Stockholm, 30th, 11th of March. We've had an investment in this company right from the start, very much a seed investment, and if this goes well at the show, then sales could increase from there and we could start to see some profit from that, looking very good for a dividend payout or possibly a takeover from one of the bigger marine companies. So we've got two possible exits on that one. Let me move on to the next slide. Okay, Harlington and Trailblazing Wine, again very interesting. They're developing an alcohol-free wine. They've taken that, I believe, to Asda in the UK here. They're very interested in potentially trialling that. They also have a club. Trailblazing Wine is a club. So members of the club, we can get a discount, access to that if you're into wine tasting, wanting to taste various different wines, and all sorts of, it's not an area I know much about, I must confess, because I'm a teetotaler, but if you wanted to taste wines, do get involved with the Trailblazing Wine. We're shareholders in this company. Harlington were also the company that introduced Natural Drinks Company, which I'll give some more details on slightly later in this presentation. They introduced the Natural Drinks Company to Asda. So Harlington Wine actually will get 10% of revenue generated by Natural Drinks from Asda for that introducer's fee. So we're getting a double benefit on this. We've got shares in the Natural Drinks Company, which are potentially going to be dynamite when they get listed. They start promoting their products through Asda, and also Harlington Wine, because we'll get that double benefit. So Natural Drinks Company will get a share of the profits on that potentially, plus also Harlington Wine get a 10% on that, and we've got shares in Harlington Wine. So a double benefit on that one. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, the next company, Rockstar. This is new in January, so this is new to the club. We've made an investment as a club in Rockster. Rockster is a premium, and it really is premium. It's very expensive dog food, but it's human grade dog food. It's been shown clinically to be really beneficial to dogs. We've got people like Leonardo DiCaprio specifically flying in when he flew into London recently, wanted to get some Rockster for his own dog. It's really making shakes and movements within the pet food industry. There's a big pet food supplier, and they've said already there's only one competitor they're fearful of in the market, and that is Rockster. The guys behind Rockster, the Lays, I can't remember their first names. I think it's Chris Lay. It's not Chris. No, it's not Chris, but whatever. Mr. Lay was the only son of a family owned business called Escada. They were premium luxury fashion company, and they were valued at £2 billion at their peak. So the guy who was the son and was involved with that business is one of the founders of Rockster. So in terms of pedigree, if you'll excuse the pun, for Rockster Foods, for Rockster pet food, for dog food, this could be huge. They've got the branding right, they've got the pricing right. That's what they wanted to test first. They didn't want to go to the big sales channels initially. They wanted to test the market. They've done that. They've seen some fantastic results, lots of press coverage. Sales are doing very well. And we've managed to get an investment in Rockster as a club, and those shares we're getting every week now. Again, this week we received more shares in Rockster. Last week we got shares in Rockster. So a great investment there, and we're getting our shares through the club for that. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so Natural Drinks Company. This again is one of my favourites. They're based in Liverpool. Ian Minton is a type 2 diabetic. Couldn't find anything in the market that he liked that would enable him to drink without the risk of the dangers of sugar as a diabetic, and so he formulated the Natural Drinks Company. Now again, we're an early investor, a seed investor in the Natural Drinks Company, but the news flow on this is getting really exciting now. They have got a deal. They're launching 2 new brands this year. Actually, I think it's 3 now. The brands are Skinny Tonic. Now there's a company already in the market for tonic waters called Fever Tree. They're currently valued at £2.3 billion. That is a huge success story, one of the best performing companies on the London Stock Exchange. Now we are in this company again. All the investments the club makes are before a company goes to the public, before they get listed on a stock exchange. So we are angel investors. We are early seed investors in these companies. Natural Drinks Company have launched in their 2 new brands. Skinny Tonic, as I've just mentioned, that is going to be available through exclusive arrangements with various bars and places like that. They've also got Agua Tierra. Now Agua Tierra is the adult sports drink, which is in a range of flavors. It's a zero sugar. This is the whole point. The sugar tax kicks in April 2018. So in just a few months' time, the news is going to really hot up again about zero sugar drinks. And this is brilliant for the timing, because WH Smith are listing their drinks in WH Smith on the 23rd of April, from that point onwards. Asda are starting to supply the Agua Tierra in all of their stores, not just a select few, but across the whole of the UK on the 19th of May 2018. And actually, I believe they've got 6 points in each store where they will be available. So where you go in and you can get your sandwiches and a drink for a lunchtime, they'll be there. In the main drinks section, they'll probably also be by the kiosks, the payments, but apparently there's 6 areas, so it's a really big push. Asda are very excited about this product because they can see that this potentially helps Asda's brand as well by being effectively the first big retailer of Agua Tierra. Now, other news which was announced in the webinar, which is absolutely massive news, Raheem Sterling and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. These are 2 footballers. Now, I'm not particularly into football either, but these are 2 footballers who play for the England football team. These guys have invested in the Natural Drinks Company, and they're going to be brand ambassadors for Agua Sport. So they've invented a new brand called Agua Sport. Raheem Sterling and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. They are not just brand ambassadors, they have invested in the company. So when you're talking multi-millionaire footballers, and for them to realise this is a good investment opportunity, then absolutely fantastic. We were in before they were. So again, the big advantage with the Angel Business Club, you don't need to know anything about investing. Just pay your monthly contribution. You'll get shares in companies like this automatically. These are privately owned companies which could then grow and become substantially more valuable as the branding picks up. The other deal with natural drinks is that Little Mix, the world's biggest girl band, are also global brand ambassadors for the Agua Tierra, and we should start to see things coming out in the next few months from Little Mix, from their news feeds that they've got to their 19 million followers. They've got a deal also, natural drinks, with Ocado, the online retailer, to provide their drinks through there. They've also got a meeting with Tesco, again, huge supermarket in the UK with Tesco. I know Fever-Tree are in Tesco in a big way, and so if Tesco decide to take on Skinny Tonic and Agua Tierra, that could massively increase sales as well. So a very, very interesting investment that we've got through the club into natural drinks. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, next investment we've got is Smart Trade App. Great news still flowing from Smart Trade App. It's a small app development software company, and they've developed a simple payment processing facility for a smartphone for small businesses to be able to accept payments. Just scan the card with the camera on the phone. There's no need for any extra equipment. So they are leading the market. They've won awards for this app. There's no one else out there does this. They've signed a deal with Lloyds Bank. They've signed a deal with Barclays. There's also Wirecard. If you just read the text on here, I don't know what Wirecard is, but allows them potentially to work a lot faster to bring this product to market. They're going to white label it. In other words, they can put it under their own brand for Barclays or Wirecard or Lloyds Bank, but it is a Smart Trade App that have developed this, and potentially the sales could be huge. These are big banks. This is a massive deal for Smart Trade App. Again, we got invested in Smart Trade App. That the value of that company doubled in price, I think it was, or almost doubled in price in 2017. But in 2018, once they start rolling this out, if there's good take up of this product, you know, who knows where this could go in terms of valuation. But again, we've got shares in Smart Trade App. Fantastic business and a great investment by the club in that company there. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, next slide is RiderCam Systems. RiderCam Systems, again, very exciting. This is a flotation that should be happening in the next few weeks on the Swedish Stock Exchange. RiderCam provide roller coaster high definition cameras for souvenirs. You know, the old style was you'd go on a roller coaster at the top of the curve, you'd be sat there, arms up, screaming your head off, and when your ride is finished, you could queue up for 15-20 minutes and actually purchase a photograph, a still photograph. Well, now you're going to be able to get video souvenirs, which can then be posted on Facebook, on Instagram, and wherever. You know, this is great news for the theme parks because it's good publicity for them. People sharing the videos of their rides. Now, you can't take a camera, you can't take a mobile camera, you can't have your mobile phone on a roller coaster ride. So this is the only way that people can have a memory, a souvenir of the roller coasters, which is in video format, high definition. RiderCam is a leading technology on this. It's been around for quite a few years and kind of lost its way. But we had an investment with this company. And again, part of the Angel Business Club is not just simply chucking money at businesses. We give guidance, advice. We use the support of the community, the angel investors in the club to say, look, has anyone got any contacts with this? Can we help with that? And so on. Now, Dominic has taken a board position. So Dominic Berger is a director with RiderCam. And Dominic has floated several companies in the past. He knows how to do this. He knows how to raise funds. He knows how to give them good direction. And Dominic said to the company, I believe that was his idea, so look, in the past you've tried to retrofit your systems on existing roller coasters because you're seeing that as a quicker way of money once you've got them fitted. But you've got all sorts of health and safety issues, regulatory issues, you've got to deal with different theme parks and so on. He said, why not go to the roller coaster manufacturers, get it installed on the roller coaster before it goes to the theme park? Dominic's managed to do that with the company. They've signed a deal with one of the biggest roller coaster manufacturers in the world, and they've got something like an order for something like 180 plus roller coasters. Now, originally they said if we can get on 25 in a year, we can probably get to profitability. Those are the sort of figures. Now, you need to look specifically and watch the webinars on those on that particular presentation, but I'm pretty sure I'm fairly accurate on those figures. Now, with this one deal, with potentially 180 roller coasters throughout the world that are going to get fitted and supplied by this big company in China. This is potentially huge news. However, that does present for RiderCam a cash flow issue. How do you raise enough money to go and fit on your high definition cameras on so many roller coasters when you haven't got that revenue coming in yet? So RiderCam, this is not an exit strategy, are going to float on a Swedish stock exchange. That should raise in the region of 2 million euros for them, which will then fund the servicing and the fitting of those high definition cameras, which will then generate the revenues as they go into theme parks. So this is a cash flow situation. Potentially very exciting though, in terms of it's another flotation of a company for the Angel Business Club, which again just adds credibility, credence and power to the Angel Business Club with another flotation. Because we are not just talking pie in the sky conceptual ideas here. We are getting some of these companies are floating, other companies are getting well positioned, ready for a takeover, other companies are building their sales so we can get some good dividends from them. And 2018 is really the start of the big growth curve for the club on that. Having done several years of background investing, background building of the business, 2018 is a very exciting year for the development for the club. So RiderCam Systems, flotation, could be around about end of February, probably March, maybe end of March for a flotation there. So that's very, very exciting news there as well. Let me move on to the next slide. Okay, WaveTech. WaveTech is a very interesting technology. They can increase the lifespan of a lead acid battery and also double the capacity of it. So this can substantially reduce the running costs, and this is particularly for buses, for trucks, for uninterruptible power supplies at hospitals and things like that. This is not for, at the moment, not for the car market. This is for the bigger industrial market, where it improves the reliability effectively of batteries. This is a technology that they've developed. It's unique, and they have a patent for, which was passed in 2013, and it's a 10-year patent. So they've got the patent for this for until 2023, and they're going to float on the American Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ Stock Exchange. This is a really interesting investment opportunity. There is a separate webinar with WaveTech, giving all the background, all the numbers and everything. I've personally committed to invest 10,000 euros in this one again myself. And again, as I said earlier in the video, that's just purely to show my own commitment to you on this video, to the investments that we've got through the club. So that's a really exciting one, potentially a very quick turnaround, very much like Wide Sales was for us in 2016. We can get an investment in WaveTech. They've already got very good commitment in America, oversubscribed probably for the subscription for the shares there, get listed on the American Stock Exchange. So we're getting the chance to invest in this before it gets listed. We are guaranteed a 20% discount on that listing price, whatever that will be on the American market. I'm hoping that it will also go to a premium. There's obviously no guarantee of that, but let's say it went to a 60% premium. We've got a 20% discount. That means we would double our money. That's a possibility. I'm not saying that's a guarantee at all. I want you to understand that, but potentially double of the money in 4 to 8 weeks, potentially floating by the end of March latest. They've already in discussions, they're looking for what's called a reverse takeover. Don't worry about the technical terms of that. Basically, they're going to buy a company in America that's already listed on the American Stock Exchange via what's called a reverse takeover, rename that company, and WaveTech are then listed on the American Stock Exchange. But their technology is very, very interesting. Do watch the webinar for WaveTech. This is not, when I first looked at WaveTech from their website, to me it seemed a bit dated, but when you actually see the webinar, what deals they've currently got in place, what tests they've got, plus the patent that's in there as well, very, very interesting company. And again, I think the Angel Business Club has spotted a real potential winner there, and very, very interesting investment. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, Stockholm IT Ventures. Now this again, I've said it, but this is another really interesting investment. Now we had an investment in Stockholm IT Ventures that goes back again to the start of the Angel Business Club. And to be honest, people weren't sure, was this very good or not? It started off as a social media company, didn't really have anywhere in terms of customers. It didn't really go anywhere. Got listed on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange and just didn't do anything. Pretty much a loser at that point. However, it carried on there, and Wayne Lockyer, he's one of the directors of the company, who again, in terms of historical perspective, I'd invested in a company in the UK called Affinity Internet in the late 1990s at the start of the internet boom. Made a lot of money on that investment, and Wayne was the guy who founded that business, Wayne Lockyer. Now he is the director, CEO of Stockholm IT Ventures. Now they've just had in the last few days massive news which has increased their share price by 800%. It went from 1 euro cent to 8 euro cents, so an 800% increase in price. And that's because they're now moving into cryptocurrencies. They have also got, they've announced news that they're going to appoint a multi-billionaire, Roger Tamraz, who is in the oil and gas sector. He is becoming a director, a non-executive, I believe, with Stockholm IT Ventures, and all sorts of contacts that he's gotten as they move into mining cryptocurrency. Still a very, very interesting one. So one that's come back from the ashes, as it were, with Stockholm IT Ventures. So very interesting there. I did actually do a video on this a couple of weeks ago saying, you might want to top up an investment on that one. I've got to be careful because we don't give advice. We're not an advisory service. We are simply providing information for you to make your own decisions. That's what the club does, and that's what keeps it all legal and above board as well. It's not an advisory. They are simply saying you become a member of the club, you pay your monthly contribution. We as a club, we will go and make smart investments for you, and you will go and get shares in proportion to your contributions to the club. But you're not specifically, in that circumstance, as you join the club, making investments. The club makes the investments, you don't make any investment decisions. But if you want to make some investments, through the facilitating of the club, you can do that. And that's part of the power, again, of what makes the Angel Business Club so unique. There is nothing else in the world like the Angel Business Club for what we've got for early stage investments in all sorts of exciting companies. Let's move on to the next one, Path Investments. Okay, so Path Investments, they are listed on the London Stock Exchange. They were always about investing in asset producing companies. So they were trying to look out in the oil and gas sector for something that was already generating revenue, but with the oil and gas sector having been so knocked down since the 2008 worldwide recession, financial crisis, they've been looking for opportunities to invest in that market. They've found a good investment. It's in Germany. It's not a high risk in that sense. We're not in some, a lot of oil and gas is in very risky parts of the world, in Syria and Afghanistan and places like that. This is in Germany, so it's a very reliable, potentially very reliable source of revenue. Path Investments are doing effectively, again, a reverse takeover, and their shares are currently suspended on the London Stock Exchange, pending relisting. Once the deal has been signed and sorted, they'll come back out, probably on the AIM market on the London Stock Exchange, if you know anything about that, and potentially could be looking at a very substantial premium as they list back on the market. Again, Path Investments was one of the early investments that the club had and is now starting to see real maturity on that, and so very, very exciting there. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, and this is the final slide, Wide Sales Group. 3 new board members have joined Wide Sales Group. Our chairman steps down. Creation of newly established scientific advisory committee, new partnership with WG Partners, etc. Wide Sales was our first big success story for the Angel Business Club. 2016, we had an early investment before they floated on the London Stock Exchange. They're now listed on the London Stock Exchange. Currently, shares around about 14.3, 14.4 pence per share. We got investment pre-flotation. The flotation price was 11.75. We got in about 8 pence. Personally, I managed to do a few deals, buy a few shares on the internal exchange, and my average investment was about 5.5 pence. So I'm looking at 300% gain on my investment with that one. But even club members, most club members had the opportunity to sell out potentially 100% gain. It was a very quick in and out, effectively from April through to August. That was a possibility. Personally, I'm still holding on to this company. I think there's some big potential on it yet. I do watch out on news. Like I said, I'm more of an active investor. Maybe you're not interested in the active investment. You just want to make your contributions to the club, watch your money grow, watch your portfolio grow, and that's what you can do. Let me now, so that was the summary, my quick version summary of the webinar that we had. So hopefully about 20 minutes worth there talking on the details of the webinar. Let me just quickly go back and show you the information on the investments. Actually, no, I'll leave it there. We've done a half hour. Hopefully that's given you a good flavour, real good in-depth. Rock solid company, great affiliate program, multi-tier commission. We're at the cusp of potentially high growth. We're now established. We're past that high risk startup stage. We're worldwide. We're multiple currencies. What's not to like about it? FCA approved. When the investments come through, they're all FCA approved. It really is a fantastic club. Transparent, whiter than white, webinars every week. You can ask any question you want. The business is growing fantastically well. My own income has doubled in the last 12 months from the affiliate side of things. I expect to triple that, if not more, in the coming 12 months. I've got some plans personally. I really want to take this up a level. And if you're interested in the affiliate side of things, you want to get more involved, you don't have to be a big recruiter. Let me give you a quick sample of this. Let's say you found 4 businesses to introduce, 4, let's say they're website owners who've got big mailing lists. Take your time on that. 4. I'm not talking introduce 100 people. I'm saying introduce 4 people. If those 4 people were correctly targeted people who could bring in 250 customers to the club, then that would give you 1,000 customers in your network, all earning you residual revenue every month. Every time they pay a contribution to the club, and remember, they're in it. Club members stay for the long term because they see the value. Every week you get shares. Let me just quickly go and show you again the shares that you get. Every week you receive shares in companies that the club has invested in, and very low cancellations rate because people see the value of these shares growing. Why would I cancel? Here's my subscription. So far in total, 33,000 euros into the club, 3,000 in membership fees, 1,500 in trading, 25,000 in direct investments. So that's 33,000 euros. My shares are now worth 39,000 euros. And remember, 15,000 of that is in Britannia's gold. So that's not even increased yet. That's potential dividends. So we're talking £6,000 increase on around about, what are we talking there? 20,000. So we're talking 30-40% gain, and most of that has been the last 12 months where I've been really active. I've had my subscription with the Angel Business Club from the start, didn't do anything with it, wanted to see how it went for a couple of years, and then back end of last year I could see this was really working, and that's when I started getting active with it. Now I've created as well the Angel Investor. If you're interested in the affiliate side of things, there is the potential here, if you wanted and worked hard at it, £100,000 a month income is entirely possible with the Angel Business Club. Whether you're going to achieve that or not is going to be based on your hard work, whether you use your intelligence to say, well, okay, I need the right people in here. I want people who can get, people who are savers, people who are investors. There's masses of opportunity out there online of people who have got websites which are about savings, investments, students, OAPs, retirement funds, mortgages. There's masses of opportunity there to bring in thousands of members to the Angel Business Club. At the moment, there's only about 2,000 active. That still makes us Europe's largest angel investor community, angel investor club. That we're the biggest in Europe, but we're open worldwide. This is a huge opportunity. I want you to grab hold of it. Get structured with your strategy. I keep a spreadsheet of all the people I contact, and some of them, they joined a year ago, but have only just got active. Don't worry about that because it doesn't matter. This is a marathon, not a sprint. But you could find that it could grow very fast. If you bring in 2 or 3 people who've got a mailing list of 50,000 investors, you're going to find that you're going to have potentially thousands of members in your team very quickly. That's one side of the potential. But you need to be structured. You need to treat it professionally if you want that sort of professional income. I've gone through a lot of information on this video. I hope you found this useful. We've gone through the investments we've got as a club. I've gone through a bit of the affiliate program. And I just want to encourage you now to make that commitment to yourself, to start with the club. Get your contribution set up. Choose your membership and start receiving shares every week and start introducing other people. If you want to use me, I'm more than happy to show everyone my back office and on a one-to-one basis and tell them what it's all about and show them everything that's here. But if you want to use my marketing system, the angelinvestor.co.uk/questionref and then your ID number, and just share that. There's plenty of places to advertise online or take it one-to-one to people. But get yourself a structure, get yourself a plan, treat it like a business, and you can get a very substantial business income. Like I said, there's no upper limit. Potentially €100,000, £100,000, $100,000 per month is possible here with this if you take it seriously and wanted to build to that sort of level. If you're just wanting £3,000 or £4,000 a month, that's very achievable. If that enables you to quit a job that perhaps you're not enjoying or something that you're hating, or perhaps you just want a little bit extra for retirement, perhaps you want just an extra £200 or £300 a month and just treat it as a part-time possibility, that again is here available for you. Like I said, I hope you found that useful. I've gone on too long. I need to edit this video, get it out to you and let you see what this is about. But join the club today and see for yourself how it works. Even if you're not interested in the affiliate side, join the club. Start having your savings working for you. Start making money work for you. That's the way of financial freedom, is to exchange, or not to exchange, is to make your money work for you. Rather than exchanging your time for money as a job, as a self-employed, start getting investments, no matter how small. It's always best to start getting those investments working. And the Angel Business Club, I can't, to me, it's the best thing out there. Potential returns very, very high. It's established. Yes, it's high risk, but if you're only putting £1 a day and £2.50 a day into it, that's your entire risk. It's not big risk in that sense. It's relative to what you're putting in. Right, that's enough of me talking. I've said that before. I will stop talking now. Have a fantastic day, whatever you're doing. We'll catch you again very soon. Join the club now. Make a decision to change your future with the Angel Business Club. Thanks for watching.